Here, head coach Mike McConathy, an 81-73 win against UNO. And coach, we just talked about it. You didn't win pretty. You won ugly, but an ugly win is better than a pretty loss 365 days a year.
No doubt about it. I mean, this game was such a critical game because it allowed us to be at 2-4 to move to 3-4. If you don't beat Coach Lester's team from New Orleans, who is so physically tough and competitive and just gives it everything they've got, if you don't beat them, now you're 2-5 and you're going on the road. So you're coming off a road victory, coming off of this victory tonight with a road trip on Friday. So my point is, it was such an important swing game to get to allow us to keep trying to get to the middle of the pack, trying to get to the middle of the pack since we laid an egg at 1-4 to get started.
Well, you talked about a swing game. Swing play, once again, probably in the second half, Larry Owens, a three-point play in a tie game. And from there, it seemed to really wake you guys up. And probably the last 5 or 6 minutes was more indicative of how this team can play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I thought we just kind of were struggling with so many areas, getting the ball in bounds, losing people, not playing heads-up basketball. And then the last 4 minutes of the game at 3:57, I don't remember what the score was, but we were in a position of being up 4 points, and it was critical because we had to hold our lead, and we did that by the fact that Brian White made some unbelievable plays, Carvel T-Set made some free throws, Jamari Gregg went and got a rebound and put it back in the hole. We did some little things. Defensively, we did a pretty good job, even though they out-rebounded us probably in the last 2 minutes, probably 5-0, 5-1 or 2. But Larry did come down with a huge rebound. He was the only one in the house of the lane, and 5 gray shirts are in there, it seemed like, and he came up with the ball and he covered it up. And, he just did a great job. He continues to improve and he continues to get better. And, I asked him because Larry is this will be interesting when I say this. Larry may be as good a basketball player mind of understanding what needs to be going on as anybody. He wanted to guard number 1, who's a heck of a player. And he did. The guy hit him and they called a foul on him. Where the other day at Southeastern, he held straight up. They didn't call the foul because he didn't give any ground. And it was just a tough break for him. But I felt like that the most critical thing for us tonight was that we didn't take care of the ball, and we lost the ball because of toughness in the first half. 13 turnovers in the first half. Had 5 turnovers right off, and then we only had 1 turnover probably the last 8 minutes of the ball game.
You also figured out the bugaboo at the line in the last 6 to 8 minutes, starting with Larry's three-point play. I don't know if seeing one goes down, but Brian's some big free throws, and that's someone you really needed to get going offensively. Maybe this is one that he gets back into the scoring column a little bit more.
Well, I mean, the thing about him is he's what I call a pest, and I believe little guys can play the game, but they got to be like Brian White and be able to score the basketball. And he made some buckets tonight that were big buckets. Nabel Carvel T-Set made some big buckets when we were kind of struggling offensively because nobody could get anything going because we were playing east and west instead of north and south, trying to attack the bucket. So, did some good things. It wasn't a game for Dalen Williams, a Kendall Coleman, Robert Ugas, because they were so small. So we had to roll down and play small, small ball or whatever you want to call it. We talked about guarding down. And, we had to get small with them, except we left Larry and Jamari in the game, and Jamari was able to guard Mr. Rosser, who's a really, really good player. And he did some good things, but that gentleman is a very, very good player. St. Hilaire got off in the first half. Second half, I don't know if he scored a bucket.
And that's credit to your wings and the defense they played and the ability to deny him the ball. But Mike, you had such a grind of a non-conference season. Then you open up with a tough start in conference. Is it simply about this team, and every team's different, but learning how to win?
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, again, we took another step tonight to learn how to win tight games. If you go back a week ago against Stephen F. Austin, we were at 6 several times with opportunities to cut it down, and we couldn't do it. We either turned the ball over or gave them an easy bucket or they got a rebound. Tonight we were able to, when it was tight, we were able to move and make some things happen and get the ball in there. We shoot about 52%, I believe, from the field, 60 something there. Still not shooting the ball very well from the 3-point line, but we'll get back there. The great thing is I know we can shoot the basketball. And so hopefully we're going to get on a roll at the right time. And a great time to start would be on Saturday up at Central Arkansas.
All right. Thanks, Coach.